All right, gang, I am off to the cinema this Thursday evening to check out the opening night premiere showing of Allied.
Is this a game?
The test.
Everything is a test.
People I've been talking to have not heard of this film, and that's primarily because the marketing for it, let's be honest, has been, quite frankly, abysmal.
Come on!
And considering the high marquee cast that's involved, we got Brad Pitt, we got Marion Cotillard, and of course we got Oscar-winning director Robert Zemeckis at the helm. I can't see how any studio could botch the advertising push for a movie with the likes of the talent that we have on display here. It's kind of mind-boggling. Really interested to see this movie. It is a World War II historical drama, and those certainly seem to be all the rage recently, especially with the recent release of Hacksaw Ridge. Wait a minute. Brad Pitt in a World War II film. Something tells me he's done one of these before.
Killing Nazis. Sound good? Yes, sir!
Or for that matter, maybe even two.
It's all right. 1, 2. Do it, Norman.
And let's not forget, Robert Zemeckis, arguably one of the great populist filmmakers of the last 25 plus years. I mean, his resume hardly needs any introduction. We got Back to the Future, we got Who Framed Roger Rabbit, we got Forrest Gump, we got Castaway, we got incredibly underrated films like Flight and The Walk from a couple of years back. Zemeckis is a consummate filmmaker that seems to consistently put out really good, commanding work, even at a late stage in his career. Yeah, I'm pumped to see this. I'm gonna go check it out, and I'll be back with a review. All right, gang, I just got out of Allied.
There's no easy way to say what we're about to say.
The tragic World War II era romance between a Canadian wing commander and a beautiful woman from the French Resistance that may or may not be a Nazi spy.
Hey, what happened to my kiss?
I know, I said it. Canadian wing commander.
Canada? Wow!
This is a very interesting movie from Robert Zemeckis. It was also written by Stephen Knight, and I had to do a little bit of looking into because the name rang familiar to me, and then I realized Stephen Knight actually wrote and directed this absolutely superb film with Tom Hardy from a few years back called Locke, which I thought was one of the best films of that year. So the marriage of Stephen Knight as writer and Robert Zemeckis as director seemed like a real proverbial home run for me.
Yes! All right.
But Allied does have its share of problems amidst its grasp for greatness.
God damn!
So all you really need to know is this. Brad Pitt plays a Canadian wing commander.
Yes, Canada.
Oh yeah, oh Canada. He is working as a spy in World War II to infiltrate damn Nazi scum.
I'm putting together a special team.
Alongside the aforementioned French resistance fighter who's played by Marion Cotillard. And let's say the whole first half of the film basically introduces us to the characters, how they meet, and how they form this clandestine force to infiltrate the Nazis and eliminate some of their higher ups. Oh yeah, oh Canada. And this is a very slow burn film, and it's very leisurely and it's very patient. And I think what it's trying to do is it's trying to develop these characters, and it's trying to develop their romance, because obviously once their mission is indeed successful, there's no question that these two are indeed going to fall in love and they're going to get married, and that is exactly what basically happens. And this is not spoiler territory because this is all revealed in the trailers.
After the war, you have the place?
When the war is over, it won't matter where I am.
These two spies do indeed end up getting married, and then they relocate to London, and they have a kid, and just when everything looks rosy for the both of them,
I love you with all my heart.
Superior Brad Pitt's character basically reveals to him that there is a very strong possibility that his wife may indeed be a spy working for Nazi Germany and has been playing him the entire time. And
we suspect your wife is a German spy.
It's insane.
as an unfortunate result, they give him an ultimatum. If she is indeed proven to be a spy, he is to exterminate her on sight. And if she is not proven to be a spy, everything's cool.
If you are right, all this will be forgotten. But if she is,
You will execute her with your own hand, and if you do not comply, you'll be hanged.
Holy shit. So the premise of this film is fantastic, and you know, one thing that Robert Zemeckis does incredibly well with this film, as he has demonstrated with most of his other films, that he is one of the great consummate film tacticians working today from a technological perspective. I mean, this film really benefits from some really handsome period production design. It completely feels of its historical era.
Our agents have decoded enemy traffic. It's about your wife.
And I think what Zemeckis is really trying to do is, I think the first half of the film, the slower half of the film, is really trying to be a classic golden age era romance picture, maybe sort of akin to Casablanca. I'm not comparing Allied to Casablanca in the sense that I think it's as good as Casablanca. I think that's what Zemeckis is actually trying to go for here. It's a really beautiful looking film. I would say that some of the visual effects in certain shots do kind of betray it at times, which is kind of disappointing because Zemeckis is so strong and so assured when it comes to handling visual effects. I mean, just look at his previous film, The Walk, and that absolutely mesmerizing scene of the high wire act between the Twin Towers. So I was kind of like, some of the shots are a little bit iffy in the film, but nevertheless, I just like the whole ambience and the atmosphere of this film. Zemeckis, if anything, he directs the hell out of this film. I mean, later on when the Pitt's character is trying to come to grips with the severity of his mission, and then he's also trying to emotionally come to grips with how traumatizing it potentially could be that his wife has been playing him all this time, Zemeckis really drums up the tension with Hitchcockian levels of unease. And
I told you they'd come for you eventually, didn't I, Max?
Is this a game?
A test.
Allied, if anything, shows Zemeckis as a very strong director, and I think, as I was saying earlier, he's really one of the most consistently strong directors working today. Marion Cotillard is fantastic in this movie, and she plays a very tricky character that has to let's just say go down an emotional gauntlet in this film. And you know, I've always thought the world of Marion Cotillard, and she really brings her A game in this film, and the camera just loves her. She is just a sight to behold, and man, she really won me over in.
What are you doing?
Testing you. The way you tested me.
Where the film does have some problems, unfortunately, is in the casting and in the performance by Brad Pitt. He's an actor that's capable of being so endlessly charming and charismatic, but here he's really kind of stilted and maybe a bit too understated for his own good. I mean, I would almost dare to say that there are times where he just looks borderline comatose in the film.
You have 2 seconds. Go.
And this has sort of the negative effect of really holding back the level of chemistry that him and Cotillard have. Unfortunately, it doesn't make for, I guess, the inherent tragedy of his mission feel that much more gloomy, because you have a hard time buying that emotional bond between the characters because Pitt's performance almost doesn't allow for that. So it creates this weird disconnect in the film. It's a film that's so wonderfully directed, and it has such great art direction and production design and costume design, and Marion Cotillard is so on point. But it's kind of held back by the fact that Brad Pitt, his performance is really lacking in this film.
It's insane.
There's sprinkles of charisma here and there, but I just didn't feel it with his character. And I think that this is a case where if the role was recast with somebody else, I can't think of anyone off the top of my head that would come to mind right now, but I don't know. So there's just something about the chemistry between the two characters that feels really off.
Hey.
I'm not really sure what I should do with this film. Parts of me doesn't want to recommend it because Pitt's performance, in my opinion, was so off-putting to the overall effectiveness of the film. But nevertheless, Zemeckis' direction, again, is so strong. Marion Cotillard is so strong. The film looks gangbusters awesome. So I think I'm going to recommend this film on a marginal level based on those things. But really, it's that one performance by Pitt that's really subverting my willingness to say this is a great work from a great director like Zemeckis. I think it is his lesser film of his last three, especially compared to The Walk and Flight.
They're watching us. Now kiss me.
So there you go. There is my review of Allied. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of the film. Let me know in the comments below what you think your favorite Robert Zemeckis films are. Once again, thank you very much for watching. If you could like this video, I would really appreciate it. If you could subscribe to my channel, that would mean the world to me. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you at the movies. And by the way, we need more movies about Canadian wing commanders.
Canada.
Oh, hell yes, do we ever.